All right, we're on. This is Toby and this is Darlene.
Hello.
Darlene's sitting in for Sean today. Darlene's doing me a big favor for Father's Day, which was yesterday, and co-hosting the show with me. So I'm really stoked about this one. And let me see. Sean's done every show. He's in Germany right now. He's in Berlin, and he's having a real good time. Have you gone and seen any bands lately, D?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Nope.
No. All right. She's been busy graduating from high school and getting a job. I went and saw Love and Rockets the other night. That was awesome. It was like, I think I knew like 20% of the people at the show. And at one point, Shelly was talking to 8 people she went to high school with out in the lobby after the gig. So they really captured the class of '89. And it was awesome. They look great, sound great. Before we get to talking about records, I have to plug. I got a bunch of tickets. Yardworks playing this thing in Houston. I'm supposed to sell tickets to it. As you can see, they're $15. It's called Big Bad Punk Festival, and there's that. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's coming up on this date, which is September 1st and 2nd. I believe we're playing the 1st. So Houston friends, get ready for Yardwork at our 2nd ever Houston show. Hopefully that goes off, and hit me up about those tickets. All right, well, we're gonna get straight to the records. All right, and number 1, we have Defiance by Ian Hunter.
Part 1.
Defiance Part 1. What do you know about Ian Hunter?
He was in Mott the Hoople. I read his Wikipedia page. It was not memorable. I'm familiar with Mott the Hoople. I didn't know he had a solo anything. I really had trouble listening to this all the way through.
Okay, I found this album to be a chore as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I could get from this album is like, as soon as I heard it, the production is like a new Bruce Springsteen record or Traveling Wilburys or a new Bob Dylan record, and I was like, it just sounded like the most classic rock guys ever are all on this. And then I looked at the page, and it's a real who's who of, let me see, we've got Jeff Beck, Mike Campbell, Johnny Depp, Dean DeLeo, Robert DeLeo, Joe Elliott, Billy Gibbons, Taylor Hawkins, everyone from Stone Temple Pilots, Duff McKagan / Todd Rundgren, Ringo, Sir Ringo Starr, Billy Bob Thornton and the Boxmasters, Robert Trujillo, Mr. Dad Rock, Jeff Tweedy, Brad Whitford from Aerosmith, Waddy Wachell, who plays on what's that California Mafia band that's on every Linda Ronstadt, James Taylor, Jackson Browne album. So anyway, wow, what I get from this album, I mean, it just sounds like this is dad rock,
I feel like it's like the most boring iteration of what dad rock can be. It's like, if you're so uncomfortable with anything new, and like even the old stuff, when you listen back to it, you're like, wait, this is a little too crazy. They have this, if that's what you want. It's also just, it's very complainy. It's not like it's in the spirit of like older music that's about like social issues, but it's just like, I'm sick of being told what to do. I'm 70. There's a song called Don't Tread on Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, track 5.
I didn't get it much past the first half. I'm sorry. For me, here's what I get from this. It's like, lyrically, he wrote some lyrics. They're kind of cranky old man lyrics, and but they're well written. And then the songs for me are just like basic bar rock, And then you have people like Slash show up, So for me, in my fantasy world, I was like, what's it like if Slash shows up at your session? And then Mike Campbell shows up on the next, it's like, what can they... Sorry. We're going to polish a turd here, like, what's the best you can do with this, like, real basic bar riff that everyone's heard 10 million times? Anyway, I usually don't talk about stuff that I disliked this much, but I love all the Mott the Hoople records, and I really mean to get into the solo stuff he did with Mick Ronson, because some of that sounds really good. I haven't heard enough of that, but this album is a total dad rocker, and I guess we can move on from that.
Yeah, it's also just like putting Johnny Depp on a record.
Oh, and the fucking Boxmasters.
Far out of your way, like.
We didn't need Billy, like. All the other people are credible to me, and then when you have Billy Bob Thornton and Johnny Depp on there, it's just like, and famous guys, And I know that I think one of the solos is Johnny Depp, because one of the songs I made it through, is it No Hard Feelings? That's got Jeff Beck and Johnny. Yeah, that's the other thing. Jeff Beck sounds good. So these are songs that you could learn to play guitar to, right? It's like, it kind of reminds me when I was your age, the Traveling Wilburys came out, and what that album had going for it was like, it was kind of like the last hurrah of all the, 5 different classic people, or at least the last hurrah for 2 or 3 of them. And, and they sound great and whatever. But, like, those were all super basic songs. And at the time, if you're learning to play guitar, you can be like, I got all 3 chords of this. And then, like, some super hot shot, like, Jeff Beck shows up and, shows you how wild on a solo you can go over those 3 chords or whatever. And, that's cool. I can listen to it and it's interesting, but yeah, I'll probably be selling this CD, actually, at some point. All right.
I bet Defiance Part 2 will be crazy.
Yeah, who do you think's gonna show up? Who was your? Did you have?
Let's get Rihanna.
Rihanna. Who do you think? Did you have a favorite cameo on here?
So it was hard too, because there's like 4 people on every song, so it's like you can barely even pay attention. Like, I couldn't even tell you. I was just trying to like muscle through it.
It's hard. Sorry, I made you listen to that.
No, it's cool. Yeah. I was trying to think, who can we get on the next one? Like, Bill Maher could do a spoken interlude.
Oh, man. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, I guess that's enough on that. So, anyway, we'll move on to something we really like. One concert that Dee and I will both be attending together in July is Sparks, a band we both love quite a bit. This new album, The Girl Is Crying in Her Latte, is the follow-up to 2020's A Steady Drip, Drip, Drip.
But, to be noted, between, they did the soundtrack to Annette, which is a movie that they also wrote the story for and appeared in, which is very good. And check it out if you like Sparks. I rewatched it. It's still outstanding.
I didn't do my assignment and watch the movie. I'm sorry.
It's a musical, but it's like freaky. Adam Driver is great in it.
Oh, yeah?
If you like Sparks.
So, they just bust into song like a regular musical?
Yeah.
It's not like they have a band or something like that.
No, but it opens with like footage of Sparks playing in the studio, and then it's very kind of like we're telling a story. So then it's like they see all the actors off, and they're like, "Bye, guys," and you can kind of hear them in the background of some of the songs during the movie. And then they have little cameos. So,
I mean, you would count that soundtrack on its own.
It's like 20 songs written by Sparks.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't go immediately and watch that. I probably should have. Do you think they'll probably be playing some songs from that at the show?
I would love it. I don't know. I don't think that movie did very well. But
I don't think they expected. Well, speaking of movies, you and I went together and saw the documentary,
which was great, by the way. Yeah, the Sparks Brothers.
Sparks Brothers. Yeah, that's the thing I was all over. I should have gone to see. What's it called again?
Annette.
Annette. Damn. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go buy that on video so I can watch it.
But this one
smokes.
Right. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's a perfect follow up to the last Sparks album, which Steady Drip 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 for me came out at the height of the pandemic in 2020, almost exactly 3 years ago. And I wore it out, and I think I remember putting it as my second favorite album of 2020.
What beat it? Sorry.
You know what? I'm thinking my favorite album, and I don't know if it's aged that well. I think it was Cattle Decapitation, Death Atlas. But the reason I put it the first is it came out at the same time, like right when the pandemic was going down, and it seemed to predict it. Like, it seemed to be all about it, you know? And I was like, this is actually the most timely album of the year, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, whereas the...
Steady Drip 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 is fun.
That's, you know what?
Like, nice
and, I mean, the songs from this could have been on that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty interchangeable, but they're the same high quality. So this is real solid all the way through. Did you have a favorite song on this that pops into your mind?
Take Me for a Ride. My favorite.
Take Me for a Ride.
Track 10.
Okay, so musically, my favorite song is Escalator.
Really?
And lyrically, my favorite song is When You Leave.
Alright.
I
like that
But
one.
I like Escalator because it kind of, that one reminds me of Kraftwerk.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
And what do you like about Take Me for a Ride?
It's just, it kind of sounds like a movie soundtrack. Like, it's got this, like, opening that's, like, quiet, and it has, I think they're, like, flutes in it that sound really cool, and then it just has this, like, really kind of sweeping sound, but also, like, the lyrics kind of progress and tell a little fun little story, and I don't know, it just sounds really good. Like, I love Sparks. The times I feel bogged down by them are when their lyrics get, like, really repetitive.
Yeah.
My least favorite song on this, it's still, like, very good, but Nothing Is As Good As They Say It Is, because it's kind of got, like, 3 lines that repeat over and over, and with them it's, like, I need, like, just 4. If we can get to 4 that repeat, then it is great, but once it's 3, it's, like, a little too much, you know?
Okay. If, you know what struck me about Nothing's As Good As They Say It is I'll put all my money that's in the set when they play. Like, and it's gonna be early in the set, right?
Yeah.
And that if it's not in the set, I'll buy you a T-shirt. Just because I'm so sure I'll buy a T-shirt anyway.
I mean, I'm sure that'll be great. I don't know, you know, but.
You know what I think's cool about Sparks is their appeal is just like when that show got announced, I was real excited because I haven't got a chance to see them, but everyone wanted to go. Like the 2 people I invited were like, wait, my kid wants to come too, you know? So like we have kind of a large group going, but that's awesome because everyone wants to see it. What other songs did I dig on the? Oh yeah, Veronica Lake
is great.
You know, New Bomb Turks also have a song about Veronica Lake,
really?
And she's in.
Her name sounds great. I've seen her. She's in. I watched a movie called This Gun for Hire that she's in. That was not that good, but she was good in it.
She's really cool looking.
She is.
She had kind of a bad end. She kind of died in a halfway house in the early 70s. Kind of drank herself to death, but yeah. And
that's kind of, I mean, the song, right? It also kind of has that little arc where it's like everyone wants to be Veronica Lake and she's gone. But that song's great. Like, it just sounds great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It starts with like, and the whole thing's really energetic. But the first 2 songs, both the first one's the title track, and it's like just a really fun start. It's exciting.
Yeah, let me see. They have the lyrics printed on this. They should. Here's Ron and Rosmael. Yeah. So I got hip to Sparks in the early 80s like most American kids did at the time when they were going through their new wave phase. And we like to read lyrics sometimes. So maybe I really like When You Leave. But I bet your vision's better than me.
Yeah, I can look if you want to.
Okay, will you read it?
Like the whole song?
Yeah. If not, I'll read it.
That's a lot. Wait.
It's on black print.
Here it is. Yeah, When You Leave. This song. Yeah, this song is great. This song, like, I couldn't listen to it on repeat because it was like, it's upsetting. They'll be breaking out the hard stuff when you leave. Like,
they'll be breaking out the hard stuff when you leave. They'll be breaking out the chit chat when you leave. They'll be breaking out the making out when you leave. They can't wait. They can't wait. They'll be breaking out the Xbox when you leave. They'll be breaking out the Cavassier when you leave. They'll be breaking out every Belgian beer when you leave. They can't wait. They can't wait.
And then I'm gonna stay just to annoy them. I'm gonna stay just to piss them off. I'm gonna stay just to amuse myself. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay.
They'll be breaking out the good music when you leave. The stylistics, the spinners, the delphonics. And they'll keep on making out when you leave. They can't wait. They can't wait. There'll be red wine all on the carpets when you leave. There'll be salsa all on the carpets when you leave. And there'll be God knows what other liquids when you leave. They can't wait. They can't wait.
It kind of repeats from there, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
They'll be putting on Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah, this album also is just thrilling to hear Sparks say Xbox. There's a song later where they mention Skrillex.
Oh, yeah.
It's the one... Oh my goodness, what's it called?
Sorry, my place is so dark. I'm a night owl. She can probably
it's
see.
We Go Dancing. It's
that song's awesome.
That song is awesome.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, just delightful.
Mm-hmm. I should have turned on this light.
What is the line? Yeah, Skrillex may be Diplo. They've got nothing on our dude. Look at how the dude is grooving. He is one bad dude. It's delightful.
They're awesome. Okay.
Yeah, can't wait to see them.
What songs do you think they're going to play? Because, you know, since Steady Drip Drip Drip, I hope they play a bunch of that because it came out in the middle of the pandemic and they didn't tour it. Yeah. And they didn't tour Annette, right? So they're touring like 3 records, and I mean this is their 26th album. So like, you know, they're expected to play a few other jams, you know.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're gonna play?
From this, I think they'll do the title track.
Yeah. I
can't say otherwise.
I'm gonna say Nothing's as Good as They Say It Is. Escalator. Yeah, hopefully the ones we said there are favorites. Yeah. It's a great album.
Yeah.
All right, so that was awesome. I'm glad we both like that.
Yeah.
I'll get you a copy of it if you like.
If you want to.
You want a CD?
Sure.
Okay. This one? Okay. The new album by Ted Milkman, their first album in like 30 years, and I believe it's their 7th or 8th album. It's entitled Quaker Stiddy Quiet Pills. And what did you think about this one, Darlene?
Okay. I know of the Dead Milkmen. I'm not that familiar with them.
Uh-huh.
Don't feel like I have that much of a... should be saying anything about them. That being said, I thought this was alright. It sounded like... the production of it, like, it sounds very polished. Like, you can hear the vocals really clearly, which is... I don't know. I didn't love that for music like this. Like, it feels like it should be rougher.
Uh-huh.
Especially, I mean, maybe this appeals to some people, but the vocals are kind of nasally. It's a little silly. It's also, like, just politically, like, I have trouble with punk music that has this, like, that musically is normally, like, has the history of being very, like, radical or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then when the stuff they're saying is kind of middle of the road, like, I don't know, whatever.
Like,
I guess not
I'm just a Democrat, you know?
I'm just a Democrat. I think healthcare is good. I had this issue with the
keeping it real. I mean, we all get old, you know?
Like the Idols album from 2020.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Like, I like them generally, but that one where they're just like, Trump is bad, like, we all gotta stick together. Like, I do get that was kind of the sentiment of the time, but listening to it, it feels embarrassing of, like, surely you guys have more to say than this. Especially when you sound so tough. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, it was alright. What do you think?
I love it. I mean, for me, the Dead Milkmen's heyday was when I was in high school, you know, and they were recording their albums in town with Brian Beatty. So I, last weekend, cool musical thing I did, I bought this 67 Ampeg flip-top bass amp from Brian Beatty, who produced most of the Dead Milkmen albums, and is a really good amp, and I totally got to grilling with questions about forming Tapeworm and Fang and Glass Eye and producing all the Daniel Johnston albums. And and Dead Milkman, he hadn't heard this yet. So anyway, that's my condensation of my whole 2-hour interview. He hadn't heard this one yet. Looking forward to hearing it. Let's see. I love it. This is nostalgic for me. Did you have a favorite song on this?
Let me look at the...
I've got one, but we usually do it like this. I count to 3 and we say the name of our favorite song.
Okay.
Okay, do you have yours in mind?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Musical chairs.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's a good...
song.
Yeah, Philadelphia... You like musical chairs, too?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so, yeah, that's a good one. Let's see, they have a lot of, so what you're talking about, like, Grandpa's Not a Racist, but he voted for one, the opening track, that's straight up, like, yeah.
It's got a fun little refrain.
It's catchy,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. It's
Me and Rodney got up and watched Morning
little.
Joe together, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, musical chairs, I like The King is Sick a lot, it made me laugh, especially when he gets to the part about how there's a brown spot in his lawn where he throws up and it's all the grass is dead. I like the spirit of that, and it's going to get us into our next record that Darlene suggested. It's weird. I like when people write songs about silly stuff, you know, that's inconsequential, and it really is creatively makes me feel like, you know, you can write songs about anything, you know, and the fact that he's writing a song about throwing up in his backyard, we can all relate to it, and it's cool. You know, I've got songs about silly shit in my back catalog too that sometimes I feel iffy about, and then when I hear this, I'm like, oh no, I needed more of that. People actually ask for those songs, you know.
Yeah. I like that. I feel like we have like a connective thing, like this and Sparks and the upcoming one are all like silly and fun, and then the Ian Hunter one, he really takes himself seriously, and it bogs it down. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I really like the song Melt Into the Night, which is the second to last one, which is just more of an instrumental track. Okay, so what you were saying earlier about it, but it's really cool. It's kind of surfy and stuff. These guys always had the musical chops and inventiveness to kind of back it up, you know. And my favorite Dead Milkmen songs of their back catalog would be like Dean's Dream, Charles Nelson Riley, 2 Feet Off the Ground, and maybe Smoking Banana Peels. Anyway, what you're going to say is the Dead Milkmen intentionally always had they don't have any gain or distortion in the amps when they play. So the guitar sound is very dry, the bass sound is very dry. It's just like the old school sound of, turning on your amps with no crunch, you know? And it didn't occur to me till I saw them at their first reunion show at the Fun Fest. It was like I kept wanting to I wish I could walk up to that amp and turn the gain up, you know. But that's their whole thing. So they kind of have that sound, and it's kind of been emulated a little bit since then, you know. But I think if you love the Dead Milkmen, you're gonna love this. Rodney, the main singer, sounds a little bit older because he's 30 years older than the last album. But Joe Jack Talcum sounds. I don't know how anyone could sound like that. He sounds just like he did on Bitch and Camaro with the nasally voice, and the guy must be in his mid-60s now, but he somehow sounds like a 15-year-old boy. Anyway. All right, and courtesy of Darlene, who's about to go to television and film program in college, we're going to have our first edit because a family member just called in and interrupted the flow of the show. But hopefully you didn't even notice that. So what I was transitioning from Dead Milkmen to the Gecs. So they're called 100 Gecs, and the album's called 10,000 Gecs, and their album before this was called 1,000 Gecs, right? Okay, so do you see any similarities between these two?
Like in the cover?
No, just musically.
Oh.
Between these two acts, Dead Milkmen and 100 Gecs.
I mean, yeah, they both keep it silly.
Oh yeah, like you were pointing out before.
Yeah.
All these albums are kind of silly,
yeah.
You know? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Vomiting on Your Lawn is also very much something 100 Gecs would take on. Subject matter.
You know what song on this that I think Dead Milkman could cover and no one would know it was a cover is the one about where's the song listing?
Ooh, I don't know. I've never seen the CD of this list.
Oh really?
I stream music. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. The one about there's a bug on the floor.
Frog on the floor?
Frog on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good song, huh?
Yeah, I love that song.
I think that might be my favorite. Oh my god, I can't see the song listing on that.
Yeah, so
that is intentionally tricky.
Yes,
I don't like that.
They are intentionally obtuse.
Uh-huh.
That is one thing about them. Okay, these are just the lyrics.
Okay, so what's gonna get you is, if you're my age, is that they're obviously very young, and there's a shit ton of auto-tune and dubstep influence and whiny ass singing, right? And you can't really blame them because they've grown up around a lot of auto-tune and whiny ass singing and dubstep. But I gotta say, where they go with it on the actual songs, we gotta hold it up, is fun. And God, I wish they had a song listing on here. Stupid assholes. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, go ahead, D.
Okay, so you haven't heard the album before this?
No, I completely oh no, I didn't listen to their first album. I've listened to this like 7 or 8 times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, well anyway, some background. The first one has way more auto-tune and distortion. If you can believe it. But yeah, this one actually is toned down, and this one also has way more like guitar on it than the other one. The other one was more electronic.
And let me interject. When they come in with the guitar and bass, they bring the riffs, you know?
Yeah.
So good on them. Anyway, go ahead.
It's great. Oh yeah, I don't know, yeah. So this is kind of it's a little bit musically different from the last one. The last one was like, I don't know how much you're in on like hyper pop as a genre.
Hyper pop, and who would that include?
Like, I don't think there's anyone that you, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like they're kind of one of the biggest in the scene. But like after that first album, there's a lot of stuff that sounded like that kind of followed. And Dylan Brady, who's the this one, he does a lot of like production on stuff, so you can kind of get a feel for his sound, which is a lot of like little noises and like distortion and whatever, and like he pops up. He's on like a lot of Charlie XCX songs. And like
haven't heard any, seen the name a bunch.
He did a remix of the Rebecca Black song Friday.
Awesome.
Featuring like Big Frida. That's pretty fun.
You know what's funny? When you were like, when Friday came out, how old were you?
I was 5.
Okay, I put it on to watch the video because everyone was watching the video at the time, and you know what you said?
What I said?
You said, "Dad, when are you gonna write a song as good as this?"
He still hasn't written anything as catchy. I don't know what to say.
So who's this person?
Okay, so that's Laura Less. She does some solo music. She sings most of the songs. On the last album, she sang more of them. It was like 3/4 her, a little bit him. They switch off more here. They're good friends. They both, you can't see it here, but they both have like long bleach blonde hair. They've got a real look. But anyway, back to the album, the music itself. I think it's outstanding.
I think it's great.
It's like, it takes a lot of genres that I personally can't rock with, but makes them in a way that's like kind of fun and like both self-aware and really not. Like some of the songs kind of sound like Limp Bizkit.
It's true. They bust into some new metal Limp Bizkit, and then they bust into ska.
Yeah.
It's like the checklist of if it's fucking
dubstep,
annoying, they do it.
Emo.
You know?
There's definitely some pop punk kind of stuff, and I've been very outspoken in my lifetime about not being able to tolerate pop punk.
For me, pop punk is aged poorly.
Yes.
You know, and even the good stuff, you know, but just because it gets associated with all the crap that's out there. Oh, that's a good picture of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the song on here that's like really ska, I Got My Tooth Removed.
Yeah.
I would say is my least favorite.
Okay.
Other than that though, all bangers.
Yeah, it's full of bangers. Now, okay, I just realized what my favorite song on this is. I think I've got the title right. Do you have a favorite song?
You know, it's hard.
Okay.
The first single for this song was Me, 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 the last one. And that came out like a year and a half before the album came out.
That song's really catchy.
I listened to it like so much. So like that one might be my favorite, but I've heard it so much at this point.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to do 1, 3 favorite song?
Yeah,
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Billy Knows
Most
Jamie.
wanted man in the United States.
Oh yeah, most wanted person in the United States.
Yeah,
That one's really fun.
What's yours?
Billy Knows Jamie. But you know what? It might be Dumbest Girl Alive.
Dumbest Girl Alive is
Dumbest Girl
really
Alive.
good. Yeah.
It's great. It starts with the sound, you know, is the like THX video thing. That really scary, like bum.
Yeah.
They like sample. They paid.
Dr. Dre, The Chronic starts with that too, and they couldn't get the rights to it, and then had to pay like $7 million afterwards.
It's funny.
In a settlement, or I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm not good with numbers. But okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. If you're like a member of this audience, which is like middle-aged people that I sort of know, the song I would ease myself into this one in is Most Wanted Person in the United States, which kind of to me reminds me of here's a little story I've got to tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. What is that? Paul Revere? I don't know. It's almost like a Beastie Boys song, you know, but it's awesome. I love that song. I think I'd cover it. I think there's some well-written songs on here, despite whatever style you presented in them. It's like a super fun record. And then once you get into the obnoxious aesthetic of the whole thing, I mean, to me, it might not be obnoxious to everybody, but it seems like there's a lot on here. We were just talking about how, like, with, like, bands and, say, like, bands her friends are forming, or bands in general, it's like, if your parents like your band, you're not doing it right, you know? I mean, I don't care how cool your parents are, you know? I mean... But that being said, there's bands that are like kids, you know, that I think are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. But maybe I'm whatever. You're not interested in forming a band. But yeah, so that doesn't even apply to us. But they're intentionally like, you know, of the time, you know, and just super, like, alienating, like, only kids are gonna like this. Your parents are gonna fucking hate this, you know?
Yeah, it feels like music for people who've had internet access since they were 5 years old. If you're, like, I don't know, if your attention span is, like, shot, and, like, there's just a certain kind of brainworms that I feel like my generation is the first to really have, since we were so young and had just so much access to like screens. Like I don't know, yeah. But I like it because it feels like it's like moving forward as music. You know? Like what they're doing.
So would you recommend I go back and hear the first one? Or would I find that more obnoxious?
Like it.
Yeah,
you would find it probably more obnoxious, but I think it's worth listening to.
Okay.
This one I did feel was maybe a step up. But yeah, I think they're great, and did you know Mom met them?
Where'd she meet them?
Barflies.
Oh, this is the band she met at Barflies?
Yeah.
Well, they're cool. If these guys went to Barflies after their gig, that means they're not hot-shotting it, you know?
They're not. They're like, yeah.
Barflies.
Barflies?
Yeah, hitting that last call. I hope you never hit last call at Barflies, Darlene.
Yeah, well. I'm trying to even have anything else to say about this one.
It's awesome. You should listen to it. I like the song. What's it called? $1 million?
$1 million?
$1 million. That's a good song. I like, great. What's it called? Frog on the Floor?
Frog on the Floor is delightful.
Yeah, and it's got different parts, and it's lots of fun.
Yeah.
And Most Wanted Person in the United States is a total banger jam, you know. So and you know, I like how it's okay. We all love gangster rap, but like, you're not even gonna pretend for a second that these people are remotely gangster, but they still pull it off. It's obviously like full on fantasy, you know.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves movies like that or whatever. It's a great song.
There's also just something appealing about them as people, like.
They're likable.
I know Laura Les has like dirty plates in her room, you know, like, I mean, I have dirty plates in I clean them, but like sometimes I leave like cans of sparkling water. Like, you know, they just feel like that, of like, I feel like they're whatever.
Yeah, she's got songs about her losing a tooth, you know, because and how hard she's worked on brushing her tooth and still couldn't save the tooth. And I can relate to that. I'm sorry she's going through that in her 20s, because that's like a 50-year-old issue, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
It's charming, though.
Yeah. I can relate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we going to move on?
Sure.
All right.
But yeah.
Good one. It's called 10,000 Gecs by 100 Gecs.
That's right.
Okay. And the last one we're talking about today is April March meets Stacklin. Now, this is the follow-up to April March in Cinerama, which was also, like Sparks' last album, one of my favorite records. And so what did you think about this one, Darl?
I thought this was great.
Yeah.
It sounds so good. It just, I don't know. This one I'm not as able to like differentiate tracks, because like I listened to it quite a few times.
So I gave you a copy of this.
Yes, in
Cinerama, and then when I borrowed your car, it was in the player, so I could tell you dug it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's solid, catchy French pop all the way through,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Now, I believe the reason that you can't and I can't differentiate tracks more as much on this one as on this one is because more of the lyrics are in French. But you took French.
Yeah, okay. This I think it's just because it flows so well, and I just put it on kind of. But that's also like, I don't know. I mostly listen for lyrics, and when they're in French, whatever. But also, like, I like the French on this one because it's enough that if you took like 3 years of high school French, you can be like, I get what they're saying, you know?
Oh yeah, she's American. She's like from Jersey or something.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not sure where she's from, but yeah.
It's not, and I'm really enjoying that, but yeah. This one I would even maybe say is a step up from Cinerama. Staplin. It's these two guys, and their names are Norman Langhoff and Arno Van Colen. And they seem to collaborate with people a lot. And they played all the instruments except for the drums, which are performed by Toby Dammit, who plays, I think, with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and other people. That's a Fellini movie, Toby Dammit.
Yes, there used to be a band in town, a pop band called Toby Dammit, and
when are you gonna start going by Toby Dammit?
Not anytime soon. I was in a band. They wanted me to get a stage name, and I had already put out a bunch of records, and I was like, I don't want it. Like, and plus I was like 30. I was like, you gonna really come up with a punk rock name when you're 30? How about Toby Poser? You know. Anyway, so back to April March. God, she's awesome. She's great. I'm such a fan. I like all her stuff. And, I only really knew she did this album with the Makers in the 90s. And it was good, you know, and I didn't hear anything she did in between that and this, but man, I'm sure to wear this album out like I did that one. At first, you know what, with this and the Sparks, when I first got both of them, I was like, not quite as good as the last one, and then after I listened to it about 6 or 7 times, I'm like, it's just as good as the last one, if not a step up, you know. And I love the whole French pop thing going on. I like the whole aesthetic. It's like everything I like about 60s fashion and music. And I don't know what else to be said. Did you have any favorite songs on this? You know, this whole thing kind of flows, and it's got like, you know what, and it's kind of dreamy, even though, you know what it reminds me of in a way, that I get a similar feeling from, did you ever listen to Portishead?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you like that album?
Yeah, this is kind of like that. I mean, not like stylistically, but it's got a similar vibe.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, that's actually funny. So my thing about this, and I don't mean this at all insultingly, I feel like this is like perfect dinner party music. I was like, last year I got in a spell of like hosting a lot of dinner parties, and I would play a lot of this kind of music, but I feel like this specifically is perfect with the like, it's really, it's dreamy, it like flows really well, it just sounds really good. Like if you kind of come in and out of it, it sounds great. But that's funny because I have this like long dinner party playlist, and there is like 5 songs from that Portishead album on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they only, as far as I know, they did that album, and they did like a live album, and then that was it, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, this has no trip-hop elements to it at all. Like, it's all natural instruments. It's all very retro 60s French pop. I like that style in movies and music, and I just think it's awesome. Songs, I like the whole album. Songs that I really liked, I don't know what this, Party avec la Soleil?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, I forgot. Party is like one of the really easy verbs. It's like,
sorry.
It's like being with the sun or something.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me on that. I haven't been in French in 3 years.
There's the songs they have videos for on YouTube are like a good solid pick, you know, of represented. So if you like any part of this album, you'll like the whole thing, you know, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think Get Wild Elevator Man was maybe one of the ones where I was like, oh wow, like this one.
Underneath the Wind, I like Guy B, the last song, because it's kind of got that whistly thing. I like the do 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 do. I love that whole style. I don't know. She's got such an awesome thing going on. But I believe, like this album, both of these are Record Store Day releases from Third Man, Jack White's label.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe that's how he promotes stuff, you know? But I just feel like these are such accessible albums that so many people could get into, besides Paul Johnson, who wrote me specifically twice, like, I can't believe you like that shit so much. It's so awful. Makes me want to puke. Don't quote me on that. It was something like that. He had the puke emoji, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
come on now.
Oh, come on. Hey, but this is number 38 out of 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got an early one.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy I got it. I had this pre-ordered. I couldn't wait for it to come out. Yeah,
also,
go ahead.
Just like, she's so cool. And I don't know, she's like 50-something.
I
don't know. She's got her own thing going on.
You know, she was one of the animators on Ren and Stimpy. Yeah.
Crazy.
She must have been like 20 there, because she's like my age. Anyway.
Yeah, she went to Cal Arts.
Cal Arts?
Yeah, it's in California.
It's in California. All right. This is awesome. Y'all should all check out the new April March meets Staplin.
Yeah.
And that takes it. Thanks a lot for doing this with me, Darlene.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I was really surprised that you wanted to do that. So I'm glad that we did. It's a big thrill for me.
Good.
Usually Sean and I jam on some music. I'm going to show off my new amp.
Yes.
I'm going to try to back this up. I'll let you get it in the picture.
Happy Father's Day to Sean. I hope you're having fun in Europe. Thank you for letting me fill in. You want me to turn it now?
Yeah. It's
all right.
Get me in the shot.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
It's a beautiful amp.
We get the amp.
Okay, wait. Here you go.
Alright.
Here he is.
It's from...
Wait, let's see.
Thank you, Brian Beatty, for showing me the samp and chatting me up. Thanks a lot. See you next time.